Hello and welcome again to Casual Magic. Today I'm going to be talking about the results of our winter workplace draft event. And for those of you who don't know, through our employee activities committee at work, we sponsor a magic event every quarter and basically pay for a limited number of employees' entrance fees. We buy extra prize support and just have a great day playing magic. Love it. I at least want to show you what I ended up going with. Ended up being a white-green deck. Not exactly what I had intended on getting, but really for the cards, that's just what I kept getting handed to me. So Audacious Infiltrator was decent just to get out. A couple of Dawn Feather Eagles to get some creatures out. Definitely didn't have the impact that I wanted it to. Eddie Trailhawk, it was decent to give another creature flying. Only had one, but it was all right. A couple of three gear pair Ospreys, just for a little 2/2 flyer. Propeller Pioneer really had a little bit of flexibility to it as far as having a tougher flyer or a servo, but didn't really get much out of it. Toolcraft Exemplar was actually really good. Definitely when I got out and I had a decent amount of artifacts, or at least vehicles that were also artifacts, getting it out where it could be a 3/2 for one late game or even mid game was just amazing. So I'm definitely a big fan of this card. This is one that was handed to me in either my second or third pack second pack that someone was passing up. It was the Kaladesh pack. It was the third pack. So I was actually surprised that this came around to me, and I took it. Architect of the Untamed. Actually, I never got enough energy to get the beast token, but I got the energy really for some other uses and a 2/3 just to try and get it. Nurnum Renegade, decent. Really, Death Touch more than anything else was somewhat helpful. Pima Outrider, I really wish this would have been a little bit more helpful and had a tiny bit more impact. Ridgescale Tusker, I loved. I had a chance of getting a second one of these in another pack, and I picked something else over it. And I really wish I would have picked more of this card. I absolutely love this one for an uncommon in a green deck, especially anything that you're trying to get +1/+1 counters. Great uncommon. Oath of Ajani. I was already doing green-white when this got handed to me. It turns out the other guy who originally had this, he already owns like 4 of these. It was his pre-release promo. He's like, I'm sick of that card, and so he passed it around. No one got it, and I was doing colors for it anyway. Really, for me, it was just to get +1/+1 counters on each of my creatures already out in play for green and white. Sure, I'll be happy to do that. Then, as far as vehicles, Renegade Freighter was decent. Andara Express was decent. Consulate Dreadnought. This thing is just ridiculous. Just first turn, you get it out for 1, it sits around, it does nothing, no one's paying attention to it, and then eventually at some point, mid-game, then someone says, oh, okay, I'm going to attack you with something of a decent size, and you just go, oh, okay, great, I'm going to crew 6, and it's a 7-11, and they go, oh, crap, I forgot about it, and then you kill something, and then you turn around, and you crew it, and you attack. And I kind of snuck him in that way in more than one game. It was fun. It was definitely a fun card. I wouldn't say it necessarily, breaks the format or anything, but definitely fun to play with. Nature's Way, I never actually got around to using this more than maybe once. It's all right. Natural Obsolescence, a little bit of a removal. Decommission. It's unfortunate it's just artifact or enchantment. A couple of the decks I went against didn't really have very many artifacts at all, so didn't get quite as much out of it as I wanted. Aerial Modification. I loved this card, and I desperately wanted to play it, and the one chance I got to get it, I was mana short. Caught in the Brights for some removal. Thopter Arrest for removal. And other cards that I took but didn't end up playing with. Aid from the Cowl. I mean, again, it's another rare that was passed to me, and to be honest, this is probably going to get more work in one of my green ADH decks. I just didn't really have space for it in this draft. Monstrous Onslaught, I started off playing with this and then eventually switched it out for something else. It just really didn't work in my deck. Lifecrafter's Gift, to be honest, I wish I probably would have subbed this in, but I picked these up somewhat late. I think the first one was maybe the only green card left, and somewhat late the second time, and by then I was like, oh my god, I'm totally behind on creatures, so I really should have planned around this card a little bit better. Aether Herder just for green 1, Lifecraft Cavalry, Sage of Shiloh's Claim, Soak Weaver Elite, didn't really need. Impeccable Timing, didn't quite make the cut. I had it there for a while, and then eventually this was just one of the ones that I got rid of. The Foil Quicksmith Genius was okay. You know, it's not really much going else in that pack. It's like, alright, fine, let's take a foil. Experimental Aviator, Dispersal Technician, Live Fast, Cruel Finality, Veteran Motorist, Winding Constrictor. That was one in some early pack, and it was, I think maybe the second card I took, and then I tried going heavy green, and eventually more and more white kept getting past me, and ended up going green-white instead. But I have one, so at least I'm happy about that. Welder Automaton, and the other stuff that they threw in for us, for all of our employees that played. We got 2 Friday Night Magic promos, so Call the Bloodline and Noose Constrictor. Not necessarily that great. Noose Constrictor's kind of okay, and since we got the box of extra prize pack support, also got the buy box promo Scrap Trawler. So those were fun inclusions. Then as far as this deck, how did it do? It was decent. I mean, I did 2-1 the first game. It was just kind of back and forth, really wasn't necessarily that spectacular. The second game, it was a guy who did the exact same strategy he did last time. He went creature heavy. He had one, and I don't remember the name of it. It was a green and red one that was a 4/4, and I don't think it could be blocked by anything with the power less than 2. And if so, my deck is pretty wimpy and a lot of little tiny flyers. I really couldn't do much to stop it. And the thing is, because people weren't playing green and red, he picked up all of them. So he had 3 of those. So even if I went through and I got removal to get rid of 1 or maybe 2, there was another one in my face every game. Yeah, oh my god, that was so hard. I was amazed I even won 1 game against him. Ended up going 1 and 2 against him, and then the third guy, I was actually really running out of time because I had to leave on time to be somewhere. And I was probably about 2 turns away from just forfeiting and scooping and getting out of there. And I got to a point where somehow I had everything at least a little bit under control, and he just pretty much said, yeah, you know what, there's nothing I can do, you know, I scoop. And I was shocked because I was probably about 2 minutes away from doing it for myself for time concerns. So in the end, I finished 4th. I would say a lot of it was just dumb luck being able to do that well. As far as the rankings went, the top 2 guys basically just took a draw against each other in the last game. That way they could both be 1 and 2. And then there was another guy who had a draw in there. And the way it played out, he or his wife, ironically enough, the winner of their match would end up being 3rd. So I got my prize packs and I got out of there. So for me, as far as my prize packs, I got 4 for coming in 4th place. And then we did the buy box promo, so we got extra prize support. So I also have these that I got for the event. So everything that I drafted, those promos, these 9 packs here, all of this paid for, incomplete, by my workplace employee activities committee. I love my job. I love my company. It's great. I couldn't be happier. So again, I just want to say that if you have the ability to have any sort of employee activities committee be able to spend company funds, much like you would saying, oh, we need to have some sort of corporate event. We need to have a bowling night. We need to have everyone gets to go to a baseball game night. We need to have some sort of bowling night for all of our employees, something along those lines. If you can sell it right and show that you do have a vibrant magic community of some sort, then absolutely try and have your workplace sponsor magic like they would any other event. And if you're lucky enough, it might work, and you can actually help build up your magic community while on the side your company's the one that's paying for it for these occasional events. And to be honest, is it good for team building? Is it good for company morale? Absolutely. We love it. We love it. And people see how happy we are. We keep getting new people involved every time. And it's great. I absolutely love it. I highly recommend it. If you have any questions, just let me know. Also, one quick side note, I just am using a slightly different experimental camera setup for video and audio this time. So I'd like to hear your feedback on how this looks and how it sounds. So that was my update. Sorry for the delay. Everything's been kind of crazy getting ready for a business trip that ended up getting postponed. So I've got a little bit of time, and in 3 weeks I'm gonna have a pretty big trip. So it's gonna be a little nuts from now until then. But at least have a couple of videos in the works. Want to get a couple out there. And separately at some point soon, I'm going to have the series of videos, kind of like I did last time for the Kaladesh ones, where I open these up and show you what I have. So that's it for now. Glad I found time to get this. And I can only hope that you like, subscribe, or even comment to this video. Let me know how I'm doing. And until next time, good luck.